So, no one really asked for this per se, but this is kind of a me. And also, don't know about being home by Christmas, but at the very least a spring break next year should be alright. Hey fellas, well, given the success of the film, last year, I'm guessing it might have even been a bigger hit around the world if it were not for everything that happened. But it's I'm gonna offer my discussion on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which, much like the video game, it shares a title with, will be coming out in April 2022. Principal photography just wrapped, which means now it's going to be in post production until then. And so I'm just gonna offer a little discussion about what this film might entail and what I'd like to see in it. So let's get this started. So the film is going to see the bulk of the cast and crew returning with with Ben Fowler as Ben. Okay, so I know it's not Ben Foster. Her it's no Ben Schwartz. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. As Sonic, I mean, and also with James Marsden as Tom, Tika Sumpter as his wife Maddie, Jim Carrey as Dr. Eva Robotnik Eggman, and also Colleen Billard as Tails. Presumably, the way that with that stinger here in the first movie, which is I point out my spoiler review, who it would stand to reason that they may have met in the past as when Sonic was trying to find a safe place to hide from those who would want on his head. And I'm still not entirely certain whether or not Longclaw was killed or botanicized or anything else like that. And they also set up that Knuckles is going to be in it, and now it's kind of been confirmed by the stand-in on the set, which is what they usually put in there to give the live actors something to reference, and so the visual effects team knows where to put the CG model later, and definitely looks pretty game accurate, I would say. I mean, I guess you might say they put Knuckles in Sonic 2. Ah? Ah. I mean, the Easter eggs work a different way than another film, and even though I understand how Arlo feels, don't entirely agree with it. I mean, I'm one of those people who liked both this and Detective Pikachu for different reasons. Whereas Detective Pikachu is like a neo noir or detective story, or a Sonic was essentially like a road trip buddy comedy with a science fiction flavor to it. I mean, right? And again, as for the other one, if they have to retool any potential follow-up spin-offs to HBO Max, then so be it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, on top of again returning to locations in Canada, which double for the Montana scenes in the first film, they also managed to do most of the. They also are going to be doing Emerald Hills in Hawaii, which they filmed, and also some images from the set allusions to the Sonic Adventure games with stuff like Emerald Coast. And even like the opening helicopter escape in the second game. I actually really like stuff like that. And if apparently Jim also wants to wear a fat suit in the sequel, maybe mushroom himself in Olive Garden. You know what I mean? A do-it-yourself tour of Italy would have to do it for me, like choosing your choice of appetizer, entree, and dessert, as well as like the bottomless soup, salad, and breadsticks. Yeah. That aside, I possibly wouldn't not surprise me if he wanted to do the whole recurring plot where he tricks Knuckles into believing that Sonic and Tails are after the Chaos Emeralds and maybe even the Master Emerald, which could very well serve as this franchise's Infinity Stones or Mother Boxes, whatever you want to call them. But basically, for those who have not played the games as much as I have, they're basically artifacts that can cause great power, also cause great disaster in wrong hands. And I'm open to other characters appearing in their future if they make more films or other spin-offs. Well, I mean, Metal Sonic, I could see being, as long as we're bringing other former 90s stars, you could maybe have him played by the T-1000 himself, Robert Patrick, or more recently Byung Hun Lee. He played him in Genesis, and so for perhaps with Amy, whether or not you want to portray her as like the a unrequited love of recurring that she usually is, or have her be more free spirited, like Sonic Boom portrayed her. I'm open. A couple ones I have in mind for trying to voice her might be Emma Stone and also Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Who's also in Moon of Flowers as well as Hunters and Birds of Prey. Nothing personal, but I meant to liking both these movies for different reasons, like how so there's that. Shadow, my first choice would definitely be Adam Driver, and not just because he was as Kylo, but also because he has quite the impressive range for both dramatic and even comedic potentials, like ranging from the little scene with much loved of Girls, which I've not seen, I check it out on about HBO Max, but also in the highly acclaimed drama Marriage Story, even. And so, I would not object to that, and if you want to include Marine, which could make a great recreation of how Shadow is not really in the mood to put up with her stuff. Maybe Riley Keough, who was one of the wives of Man of Road, so as well as his the running potentially Poison Ivy DCU, so there's that. Be that as it may, and being nearly halfway through this year, hopefully by spring 2022, well, whatever the future holds by then, since it's going to be coming out before the 30th anniversary of the second game, as well, which is my favorite entry in the series and my favorite Genesis game ever. As I pointed out before, probably going to host a video about that. And a few months after my 30th, so it should be fun. And so, whether or not this is how we all end up experiencing that one theatrically or on Paramount Plus, as I am very much open to the idea, as well as Sega wanting to make more adaptation. I'm still be very much in favor of a horror-centric House of the Dead reboots with Jason Statham as Agent G. And I think about who I would want for his partner, as well as who would play Dr. Kyrian, and but I don't want to talk about the other one they did. Where they not only count him off, they didn't even go on screen death. That didn't really sit well with me. So, anyway, that's all I'll say for now. Tomorrow's going to ask probably Monday. Whether or not I end up making it my next Sun and Moon vlog or the Project Mew discussion, it's probably going to be one of those or a later topic. So, anyway, that'll be it for now. So, Godspeed, kid. Take care.